Alrighty, welcome to my Nancy Drew White Wolf of Icicle Creek Lodge tour. I built this all in The Sims. I built the house with a lodge from scratch, and then I decorated the inside. So we'll do a tour of the outside while it's snowing. You can see here. Here's the front with some pine trees. Got a little bit shifted when I moved this from a different world. But here at the front, you can see that we've got a snow shovel and a wood log pile. My goodness. Out back here, you see the classic signs. We're going to Trapper Dan's Needle and the skating rink. For this world, I couldn't have a bunch of different things, so I've just installed a skating rink in the backyard that's kind of that rustic wood and stone color palette. And out here in the back, we've got the staircase that goes up the side and the door that will go into the lodge. And then a view from the back, we've got those window dormers, and we have our front entry sign here. Welcome. I like to imagine that says, "Welcome to Icicle Creek Lodge." But we will start at the beginning of the lodge. So you come in the front door. Oh, this mailbox is not supposed to be here. I don't know why that's there. Ignore that. In the front closet, we have hanging coats and boots and all those things. And just a rack, a bench, some more benches with some skis, and someone left their hat and gloves on the bench, of course. And I tried to keep this as scale to the game as possible. I tried to include as many of the little details that were there as I could, while having to take some liberties of my own, because there isn't everything that's included. Then we come out here, and here's the front lobby area. There's of course a Canadian flag. And then back here is where the receptionist would pick up the phone. Oops, sorry, hold on. Pick up the phone, answer emails, make bookings, a fax machine and printer. There's a fan in here for when it gets hot in the summer, because of course there's no air conditioning in the lodge, so they'll have a fan, but they don't need it right now, so it's in the back. And then there was no big map, so I've just put up a bulletin board here, and one here also, but same idea. The staircase up and downstairs here is inverted. Of course, the staircase up is on one side and is on the right side, and the staircase down is on the left side. Just because of the game, I had to make it opposite sides, but this goes up and this goes down. Over here we have the area where Trapper Dan's golden pyramid is. There was no golden pyramid, so I've put this little flame as a stand-in. At the front, here's where all of the old pictures are, and the display of different knickknacks around the lodge of different historical things. Of course, a moose head, a bear head, and a stag head to stand in for the different animals that they have hung up. The kitchen was here in the Wii game, but because I tried my best to build the lodge to scale, that was not an option. So this is just an empty wall, and I've put dining tables around the sides for the guests to eat at, since that was not anywhere in the actual game. But again, I took some creative liberties to make this more of an actual lodge. We've got a rocking chair in the corner here with a pine tree lamp, just like the one in the game. I hung up a dartboard for the guests to have more to do. Here is the fireplace area with the leather couches and the Native American pillows, and a big hearth that, once it's lit, will be all nice and roaring. Over here I have the table where Bill and Lou play fox and geese. It's a chess table, but chess is somewhat similar, and all around I have different Native American inspired touches. Kind of pay homage to the Inuit up in Canada. A totem pole. Here's a log pile to apply the fireplace. And then over here we have a wall with all sorts of fish. Sturgeon, yellow perch, walleye, trout, bass, and salmon, which these are all fish that you can catch at Icicle Lake, all fish that were actually there. So that's kind of an homage to the fishing minigame. And then a bookshelf. There's normally a bear statue here. I didn't have a stuffed bear taxidermy, so we have this little nice guy that stands there. And then instead of putting the kitchen where it's supposed to go over here, I decided to take this middle part that kind of divides up the room, and I've put the kitchen in the middle to use up this space. Nancy's in here making some quesadillas, it looks like. I tried to make it as industrial as I could with having it still look like a homey kitchen. It's 2 fridges and a cook station to make all of the food for all of the resort goers, but so with a dishwasher and wooden cabinets, and so those homey touches, and of course we have some non-slip mats for food safety. And then here's some more old portraits of former guests of the lodge and family of people who used to stay here. Now, I didn't do the basement. That is one thing that I didn't get done. That was a project that I decided to tackle another day. I was just happy with how this all turned out, so I'm going to do that later and just record this now for you to see. So if we go upstairs, we have, again, some creative liberties that I took, but here's the upstairs landing. The blanket rack and the bookshelf are faithful to the game. There is a blanket rack and a bookshelf, and this wooden staircase with this, traditional log cabin banister. That's all real. I decided to put in a coffee machine and some tea and some mugs just to give it more of that resorty feel. Like a lodge where if you're cold you can come and get yourself something hot to drink. I made a laundry room for Nancy when she's doing all of her maid duties to wash the bedding and the washcloths and things and the clothes of the lodgers, because I imagine, you're out skiing all day, your clothes are going to get dirty real fast. And then here's the laundry chute. The bathroom, which we never saw in the game, but Nancy can go into, is over here with the lodge accents, a wooden sink, wooden shower, some wooden hearts on the wall, and just some rustic decorations, a nice toiletry basket for the guests to enjoy. And then I went room by room, and I'll show you those in a second, but I tried to stay to the theme of what the room was, so each room has a different animal, and also to kind of put objects that reflected the personalities of the people who stayed there. So, Yanni's room, he's a cross-country skiing champion, so I put a pair of skis in there to kind of reflect that's who he is. So we'll start with Nancy's room. Nancy was in Quell, which is the Native American word for an owl. So I hung up an owl on the wall, and her little teddy bear and alarm clock are over here in the corner. And this bed, actually, that's on her, these pillows on the bed it's the moose token from the actual game, which is kind of cool. I found somebody made this online. So that's Nancy's room. She has that little call out. Yanni's room over here, he is in Kalakala. I had to think about it. Kalakala means crow. There's not a lot of bird-themed things, unfortunately, so I went with like a darker blue bedspread that kind of was very similar to a raven or a bird of some kind. But I did put a moose head in here, which was like in the game there, or a stag head. There is a stag. His skiing magazines, and then of course his skis. Guadalupe Camillo was staying in Alali, and Alali is a berry. So she has a red berry wreath hung up in her room, just like she does in the game, and she has a little tea set and a lighter colored, a very earthy toned bed that was more her personality. Here's the fireplace at the end of the hall, and the fire exit is here. It's supposed to be a little bit further back, but I couldn't build everything to scale because of the building restrictions in the game. Over here is Pish Pish. This is Bill Kessler's room. Bill Kessler has... Pish Pish is a lynx. So, his room is in here. Goodness, this camera's hard. There was no lynx-themed objects. Also, all of the towels in the rooms are all the towels that are in the game. So, like, Pish Pish has green towels in that room, and that's the towels that I put in here to be accurate. But I did put a geode in here because Bill Kessler has a lot of rock and mineral books that he has in his room that Nancy finds. So I put a geode to signify that, and then just a nice picture of these dogs, because Bill Kessler just seems like a dog guy. This is Ina, which is Lou Talbot's room. Ina is a beaver. So I have a little beaver right there, and Bill Kessler, Lou Talbot is an art student, so I have a notebook and a backpack and some art sketches on the wall for him, and I have a Hudson Bay Company bedspread for him. And the last room is Chinook, which obviously is a salmon. This is a vacant room. There's nobody staying here in the game, so I just have very basic decorations. The only thing I do have is I have a single kind of Native American Pacific Northwest tapestry, and then I also have a Chinook salmon. I think that actually might be a sockeye salmon. But the idea still stands. That is the salmon. So, that is my tour of my Nancy Drew White Wolf of Icicle Creek Lodge. Stay tuned for the basement. There's going to be a sauna and Yanni's ski station. But for now, that is what I have.